So today I am going to be your substitute teacher because Ellie is indisposed today. So me and other Ellie are going to teach you weightlifting today. We are in our glamorous kitchen with a roller extension pole for rollering ceilings. So it's a really good PVC pipe replacement. So what we're going to get into today is going to be a load of work on the clean. Okay, so we're going to do lots and lots of clean drills today. So that's the main part of today. Can everyone just make sure that they're in a place where I can see the full head to toe of them, and you've got your pipe and you've got plenty of space? Not far off.
About as far as I can get.
Nice. All right, I'm just going to put this into the camera so I can see you all a bit bigger. Okay, that'll do, guys. Awesome. All right, so we're going to start off. If we pop our pipes down, we're just going to go for 20 jumping jacks. So we'll start getting warm. Yeah, so we're trying to really reach your arms all the way up with each rep, and try and reach with the shoulder, not with the elbow. Okay, once you finish your 20 jumping jacks, we're going to do 5 gate openers on each side. So lift the knee up in front of you, turn it out to the side. Yep. And then back in, and then 5, and then 1 on the other side. So just do 5 on each side, alternating each rep. Yeah, really reach that knee as high up and as high out as you can do on each one. Nice. And once we've done 5 of these on each side, we're going to do for 10 really slow pass-throughs with the pipe. So really focus on driving those shoulders away from you and then up and round. Big circle with the shoulder. And try and keep a full grip of the bar if you can. Going for 10 of those. All right, once we finish those, we're going to take our pipe into the front rack position. So make sure your grip is just outside shoulder width. Okay, everyone take their front rack for me. Rich, if you could go a tiny little bit wider with the hands and drive the elbows up and outside. Nice. Okay, what we're going to do is we are going to lunge forward onto one leg. From there, we're going to come down to the bottom of our lunge, and we're going to lift one elbow and then lift the other elbow. And then we're going to lunge back up, and we're going to do 5 on each side. With each rep, we're driving one elbow up, then the other elbow. Okay, and just try and think about dropping one as you lift the other to try and accentuate getting that front rack position. Okay, so down to the bottom, really raise one elbow, let the other one drop if you need to, and just think about elbow straight up in front of you. Neil, keep that bar exactly where it is. Your hands are just revolving on the bar. Okay.
Okay.
So let the hand slip on the bar, and just think about pushing that elbow forwards. That's better. Yep.
Okay.
All right. And once we've done 5 on each side of those, we are going to go for 5 Cossack squats on each side. So you can put your pipes to the sides. Okay, take a nice wide stance. Yep. And then we're just going to squat down onto one leg, trying to keep both feet flat on the floor, keep your chest up, hands up high. Hands up nice and high above the shoulders. Good. 5 on each side. Nice and slow. Make sure your stance is wide enough that you can get right down into that bottom of that squat. Try and keep the chest up. once we've done 5 on each side of those, we're going to grab our pipe and we're going to go for 10 tempo front squats. So I want you to take 3 seconds on the way down, 3-second hold at the bottom, and then 3 seconds on the way back up again. So nice and slow. 3, 3, 3. So 3 on the way down, 3-second hold, 3 on the way back up again. Keeping the weight through the heels. So really try and feel the ground with your feet. Try and keep as much of that weight in the back of the feet as you can. Elbows high. Take your hands a little wider if you need to, Neil. It might help with that front rack position. Yep. And then elbows up. Okay, we're going for 10 reps of that. So George, really fight for those elbows up. Nice. Once we're on 10 of those, we are going to go for 5 front squats where we go to the bottom, we bounce, come back up to halfway, and then go down again, and then back up again. So we're going to go down, bounce, back up halfway, down to the bottom, and then back up again. All right, so 5 double bounce front squats. So we hit depth, come back up halfway, and then back down to the bottom, and then up. Still focusing on those elbows as high as you can. And then once we've finished 5 of those, we are going to go for 10 nice classic thrusters. Okay, so keeping that front rack position. And then when we get to the top, pulling the chin out of the way, driving to the top. 10 thrusters. All right, guys. Feeling a bit more warm now?
Yep.
Awesome. So we're going to be going through some drills for the clean. So through all of these, we're going to just be thinking about core to extremity. So think about it as a chain reaction from the hips. Hips do most of the work, and then that ricochets through the rest of the body. Okay, but everything starts with the hip. So my glamorous model here is going to do, we're going to go back to basics. We're going to go for a down and finish. So you're going to start from that top position. You're going to lower the bar down to just above the knee. Then we're going to stand up fast and shrug. Yep, let's go. All right, we're going to go for 10 of these, nice and slow. Okay, so get set and then go. Shrug up. And make sure it's the hips that are starting first, and then the shrugs coming in. Sophie, just try and not get into the shrug until you stood really, really fast up, okay? So the hips do the action first, and then the shrug, yep, and the bar stays nice and close. All right, I want everyone to just pause a second. And there's something we're seeing here, which is like a little bit of what we call slackness or looseness in it, okay? And so I want you to try and think of, as you're going down and you're loading that up, I want you to feel like you're coiling the muscles up, okay? So that you're getting really tight. And then as you get to that bottom position, all you want to do is stand up as fast as you can because the muscles feel really tight, okay? So think about loading yourself up as you lower down. And then all you'd want to do as soon as you get to the top of that knee is stand up as fast as you can, okay? Let's go for 10 more. Nice, Neil. Good force there. Good job, Rich. Hips are coming through fast there. Good speed to it, George. All right, we're going to go now and we're going to add in those elbows high and outside. So big thing here, if you turn to face me a second now, is we want to just focus on as we get loaded up, we're still going to go through that down and finish. But then as we're coming up, we're going to stand first with the hips, then the shrug's going to come in, and then the elbow's going to come high and outside. So let's go through it slowly. So we're standing, squeezing our bum, shrug, elbows high and outside, and the bar should graze up the front of us. Okay, we want to finish up in that position and then lower the bar down. Okay, so if we're going full speed, yep, and then down again. Awesome. All right, so we're going to go for 10 of those. We are just going to lower down, load ourselves up, and then we're going to stand fast, elbows high and outside. Sophie, I want you to try and lower down a little bit slower, like you're really, really like binding up that muscle as hard as you can, and then go. That's it. Yeah, good stuff. Good speed, Rich. All right, nice work, guys. So now that we've gone through those, we're just going to go through the muscle clean. So we're going to go through strong, fast turnover from the power position. So we are just going to stand up fast from the position where we're just above the knee. Okay, we're going to stand up fast and just power muscle clean through. So we're not even going to dip under it at all. We're just going to stand up fast and then fire those elbows through. Okay. They feel kind of janky. I'm not going to lie. They feel a bit weird. It doesn't feel natural, but that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for that bar to arrive on the shoulder with those elbows punched through as quick as you can. Okay. All right. We are going to go through 10 of these now. And really think about punching that elbow through as far in front of you as you can. And we're not rebending the knees. We're standing up fast. Sophie, can you take your hands a tiny bit wider for me? And I want you to think about those elbows high and outside. Yep. So the elbows coming right up outside. That's better. Good job. Neil, focus on getting those elbows high into the outside. At the moment, you're going for like a T-Rex clean, where the elbows are staying close, and then the bar is coming up. I want you to think about elbows high and outside first, okay? So if you slow it down and think about getting your elbow points right up to the sky as you're standing up. So you're standing. Ellie, can you demo a second for me? So facing on to me. So Neil, what we're thinking about here is that as we're going to go slow and let's go slow for a rep. Yeah, and just thinking about those elbows want to rise up on the outside, so the bar stays really close to our t-shirt, and then we suddenly shoot the elbows through. That's it.
Yeah.
Awesome, Neil. All right, good stuff. Okay, we're now going to go through 4 power cleans, and we're going to go through do them at each of the 3 positions. Okay, so we've got our power position, which is what I would just say is above the midpoint on the thigh. Okay, so if we get into the power position, Ellie. Okay, so that's just above the midpoint of the thigh. We're not really lowering down far at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for 3 power cleans from that position. And all we're going to think about is all the stuff we just worked on those drills, exploding up through the hips. And then we are going to land in that quarter squat position. We're going to do 3 in that position to start with. So let's get started. Oh, sorry, 4 in that position to get started. So let's get started there. Okay. And I want you to go for a really firm landing. Sophie, elbows high and outside. So big wings, all right? That's much better, Sophie, good job. We're gonna do 4 reps here. And once we've done those 4 reps, what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch and we are gonna go from the hang position, which is just above the kneecap. Okay, so we're gonna go down just above that kneecap position. Again, we're gonna go for 4 from this position. So all the same things apply, good strong landing. Receive that bar, elbows punch through. 4 reps. Much better elbows, Neil. That's good. All right, Ellie. Next, we're going to go through from the mid shin. Okay, so we're going to lower down. We're going to pretend we've got plates on. We're going to come to the mid shin position. Okay, so once we get into that position, we're going to pause here. I'm going to check where everyone's at. Okay, so down to that mid shin position. I want you to think about showing your chest to the wall in front of you. Big chest. From there, we're going to go move smoothly to above the knee and then go with a full speed. All right. Yep, and we're going to go through 6 reps. For the first 3, I want you to go slowly to above the knee and then go. And then for the last 3, I want you to try and smooth that out a little bit, okay? George, try and keep the knees out of the way a little bit. So press the knees out to the side and keep the hips back. A little bit better. Knees are just getting in the way of the bar a little bit. The bar's coming forwards because of the knee as it passes it. So I want you to try and keep the knees out of the way a little bit more for me. More vertical shin. Chest up, knees back. That's better. Awesome stuff, guys. George, a good way to think about it is to think about that first part of the clean or the snatch, to be honest, is a deadlift. And with the deadlift, we're trying to keep that shin as vertical as possible for the first little while so that we can just pass the bar up the front of the shin without the bar having to move out in front of us, which makes it heavier. Okay, so you want to keep those hips back, knees back, keeping the chest up is a really good way to try and think about it as you're passing that. Ellie, you are the main viewer on this thing, so start doing circus tricks. All right, so once we have got through those, we're going to go through the full clean from those 3 positions, okay? So we're going to go for 4 full cleans from the power position, the hang, and then the mid shin. So we'll start with the power position again. So mid thigh or just above, and we're going to try and land it in the bottom of that squat, okay? So all the same things apply. We're just going to pull ourselves under the bar. Let's go. Yeah? All right, once we've done 4 from the mid-thigh position, we're going to go for 4 from the hang position, which is just above the kneecaps. Okay, Sophie, hands a tiny bit wider for me. Good stuff. There we go. And then we're going to go for 4 from here. Neil, keep that bar as close as you can, okay? Make sure it's grazing the front of you the whole way. That's better. Good job. George, keep those knees back, okay? I want you to try and keep the load in the hamstrings. Backs of the legs should feel tight. As you're going down, you're pushing your knees forward. I want you to push your knees back. There we are. That's better. Much better, George. Good job. Awesome. Go for a couple more for me, George, just to try and get that ingrained. We want to feel that tension in your backside. Awesome. All right, now we're going to go from the mid shin. So we're going to go for 4 reps from the mid shin this time. Or sorry, yeah, down to the mid shin, and we're going to rise and then go. Okay, try and make it smooth. We're working on that in the last 3 reps of the last section. So let's go. 4 reps in there. Trying to keep those knees out of the way. That's better, George, but make sure you're getting that hip all the way open. Nice job. All right. So there's some really nice stuff happening there, guys. Awesome. We are getting some good receiving positions, but we're just going to do a little bit more work in that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for some paused front squats. Okay. So we are going to go for 5 sets of 2 paused front squats. Okay. And I want you to count to 5 in the bottom of that squat. And during that count, you're holding the breath, driving the elbows up and keeping the chest up as high as you can. Try and think about how much you can push those knees out to try and create more space there. Okay, so we want to just go down. We're going to pause for 5 seconds, come back up, and then down for 5 seconds, and then back up. And really try and think about recruiting as much as you can. Try and get those elbows nice and high. Create the best position you possibly can do. Once you've done 2, take a little rest, and then go back in for another set. At that bottom position, think about, could you get those knees a tiny bit wider? Could you push your hips forward to lift the chest higher? Nice, Rich, that position's getting better. So if you really focus on those elbows up, chest up. Don't let your chest sink towards the floor. That's it, much, much better. Yeah, really, really good. Much better posture there. Nice fix, Sophie. Good job, George. Keeping that chest up nice and tall. Nice. That 5 set done, Rich?
Sir.
Awesome. All right. So what we are going to do now is we're going to go for a little complex, okay? Which means we're going to combine a couple of the movements we've gone through so far to try and get at a little bit of a focus that we want to have. So for complex A, what we're going to do is we're going to be focusing on getting full extension. So when we say full extension, what we're really meaning is that we stand as tall as we possibly can do. We want to get the top of our head as close to the ceiling as we possibly can, and we can't do that if our hips are closed, okay? So if you leave your bum behind you and don't get all the way up as tall as possible, your scalp's not going to get as close to the ceiling as it possibly can. So we are going to go for 2 muscle cleans from the power position, so just the bottom of your pocket, okay? And we're going to go for 2 muscle cleans there, standing fast. Yeah. And then we are going to go for 1 power clean from the hang, trying to get that same feeling of the hips coming through in that, okay? So we are going to go through a number of these. We're just going to see how many it takes to get it going good, all right? So you're going to go through 2 muscle cleans from the power position and then 1 power clean from the hang, okay? Sophie, make sure those hands are a little bit wider for me. Yeah, that's it. Just, it doesn't have to be super wide. It just has to be a little bit wider than your shoulders so that you can get a nice broad chest position there. Yeah, that's about right there. Those muscle cleans should just be like you're standing bolt upright really quickly. 2 of those, and then get that same feeling in that hang power clean. Good receiving position, George. That's nice. Once you've done 1 set of complex, just take a little rest and then go again. I'm just going to be checking out how you're going as we go through. Once I've seen everyone do a few and we've kind of corrected a few things, we'll move on. Rich, I want you to try and pull yourself under that bar a little bit quicker when you go onto the power clean. The muscle cleans, the movement path is good. I just want you to be a little bit more aggressive with it, okay? So a little bit more yank on that bar and then pull yourself under when it comes to the power clean, okay?
Okay, like it's like catching in a quarter squat?
Yeah, catching a quarter squat for the power clean, yeah. So on the third rep, you're going for that hang power clean. Nice, Rich, good job. Neil, could I see another rep from 90 degrees on? So if you just turn to the side for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to go for those, yeah, 2 muscle cleans and then to the 1 hang power clean. Good. On that third rep, Neil, I want you to try and think about sending the hips back and landing in that slight squat position, okay? So once you've gone through the 2 muscle cleans, we're going to just try and land in that quarter squat position. That's better, Neil. Good job. Just try and keep that hip open all the way up when you move on to the power clean. Good, Sophie. In your receiving position, try and punch those elbows through a little bit more. Yeah, that's it. You want to try and land in that exact position with the chest up high. That's much better. Much, much better. Good job, Sophie. And in your muscle cleans, I want it to be lightning fast, okay? So you stand up that bar right. Yeah, that's it. Much, much better. Yeah, that's it. Good speed. Awesome, Sophie.
Hey, Rory, on the muscle cleans, is it just a dip of the knees or do you throw in your hips back as well?
The hips are coming back a little. Yeah, for sure. But always think about it. It's not like, you know, the hips aren't moving back and forwards. They're just opening up so that you can get tall. All right. So you just want to load them, but you're not necessarily thinking about swinging them forwards or back. It's just about loading them up a little. Okay.
Okay.
Good, George. The position's really good. I just want you to focus when you move on to the power clean on getting that hip all the way open. Okay. So on the muscle clean, that hip's opening all the way up and you're getting as tall as possible. But I'd say that your head's getting, you know, 2 inches lower on the power clean than it was on the muscle cleans. All right. So we need to focus on getting as tall as possible in that one. That's better.
At the last movement, when I'm standing back up, you mean?
No, it's Ellie, could you jump in a second? So when you're going for the muscle cleans, it looks really good and you're coming down and then your hip is opening all the way up and you're standing up nice and tall to get into that position. But then when you're moving into the power clean, you're still leaving the hips behind you a little bit. So it's just an incomplete hip opening. Right. Okay. So when Ellie's standing up there to get the bar to start moving up, we want to get that hip to come all the way through rather than, Ellie, can you do one with a muted hip so that you don't stand all the way up and then you just drop down? Power clean. There. You see the difference? The hip's not open all the way up. You stay bent forwards a little.
Right. Okay.
So that's where we want to avoid. We want to stand all the way up, bolt upright. That's better, George. Just got to make sure that once that hip goes all the way through, it comes back again so you don't end up in limbo town.
Yeah, I was just feeling it felt like I was landing a bit.
Yeah. And Neil, that's something to think of as well. I think obviously we've got issues with the front rack, means that you have to kind of lean back a little bit to get the elbow through. But it's just that balancing act of trying to get the hips to then go back at the same time. But we'll get there. We'll get there. All right, guys, we're going to pause there. Some really good work there, coming on nicely. We are going to move on to complex B. Okay, so with complex B, we're going to be looking at a clean pull from the power position. Okay, so we're going to come to that position and we're just going to pull. So we're going to stand up fast, elbows are going to come high. Okay, we're not pulling ourselves under. We're going to go from 2 there, and then we're going to go for a full clean from the mid shin. Okay, so right down to the mid shin. Yeah, nice. Okay, and the aim here is we want to try and get the find that power position in the full clean. Okay, so we're gonna if we need to, I'm gonna see how we're getting on, and we're gonna maybe slow or pause that point on the full clean. So what I want to see is that when we go from that clean pull from the power position into the full clean, that you're still hitting that same position we hit for the clean pull. Okay, and what I mean by that is the bar is getting to the same place on the leg, it's touching there, and actually everything in the full clean looks the same as it did when we just isolated the clean pull. All right, we'll see how we get on. We're just going to start going through reps. Okay, so just start having a practice of this. Okay, I'm going to let you kind of take your own rest and stuff as we go through this. Just keep practicing. We're going to do 2 clean pulls from the power position and then 1 full clean from the mid shin. And I'm just going to pick on little bits as we go through. Okay. Okay, Sophie, still trying to get that elbow high, chest up position when we land at the bottom of that full clean. Okay. Nice, George. That was a really nice rep. Good job, buddy. All right, Sophie, I want you to try and, with your setup, okay, so for the clean pull from the power position, we only want the bar to go down to just the bottom of our pockets. Okay, so what we're going to think of from standing, you want to think like you're loading up a spring as you lower down to that position, and then you're going really, really fast. Okay, so once to feel like you're not dropping into that position, you're kind of having to pull yourself into a tight position, and then you stand up fast for that clean pull. That's better, much, much better speed. Yeah, and then you go for the full clean. Good. I'm going to get you to what I'm going to get you to do for the reps from now on is you're going to go for the 2 clean pulls. And then on your full clean, I want you to pause in that power position and then go for the full clean, okay? Good job, Sophie. Rich, let's see it. Nice, Rich. That's good. A little bit of a pause in there, so you're working on that. It's nice. I want you to try and focus on since you're getting that stuff good, I want you to try and focus on your landing, okay? In the landing, I want you to not let your low back start to round, okay? I want you to try and land in a position, it doesn't matter what height of squat you're in, I'll land in a position where your chest is as upright as it possibly can be, okay?
Okay.
Let's go for it. All right, Neil, can I see some reps from the side, please?
Yeah.
Very nice, let's go. Yeah, good elbows outside, like it. Nice, Neil. That's looking really nice, buddy. That's coming on well. I'm going to get you to go for the pause as well. So when we go onto the full clean, I want you to pause in that power position. So just above the midpoint of your thigh, okay? I want you to pause there and then go, all right? On the way back up for your full clean. All right. So not quite what we're looking for. Ellie, if you could jump back in a second. So just when we're thinking about the pause, so we've done, let's just imagine we've done the two pulls. We're going to go down to the mid shin, okay? And then on our way up, we're going to pause mid thigh. Once we hit there, and then we're going to go.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
We're just putting in a stop at a station there, okay? Yeah. And then we're going to carry on.
Yeah.
No, all good. All right, Neil, that was much better. We got the pause in there. But there's something happening when we go from the clean pull into the full clean, where the elbows stop. I'm going to come out in front, actually. Where the elbows stop coming up and outside, and suddenly it comes out and round. Okay, so I want you to focus on in the next reps, thinking about that clean pull, your elbows are coming up into outside really nicely. I want you to carry that through into the full clean.
Got it.
Much better, Neil. Good job. Yeah, keep practicing that, keeping that bar as close to you as you can. Rich, good back position there. That's really nice to see. Much, much better, buddy. Okay, George, those knees are starting to get in the way a little bit on the way up from that full clean, okay? So, can I borrow the pipe a second, Ellie? So, on the way up, so we're getting set up in that position at the bottom there. From here, I want to try and, as I'm rising up, push my knees back and out so that my knees stay out of the way. Okay, I've still got the bar just behind the shoulders, but from here, where the knees are in front, I'm just driving them back and out of the way and loading up the hips a little bit more, which means that the bar can just travel straight up rather than from here coming out and round, which is what we want to avoid because that just makes the bar feel heavier. Much better, George. Good job. Awesome, George. Much, much better, buddy. Sophie, that receiving position is great at the bottom of the front squat there. Nice work. All right, we go for 2 more of the complex from everyone. All right, nice work, guys. Okay, so we're going to finish up with a little bit of accessory work for this, okay? So we are going to start off with just a little bit of work on mobility, okay? So we are going to go for some round the worlds. Okay, oh, that's, I've made it a bit long, oops. We should get these in the gym, they're really nice actually. Okay, but for our round the world, what we're going to think of is we're going to start with the bar in front, okay? And then you have to rotate it to lock it again. There we go. And then what you're going to think about doing is taking your right hand down to your leg and then your left hand up and above, okay? And you're going to keep your right arm on the side there as you come round. Yeah, and then down to the back. Yep. And then you're going to just really focus on getting then your left hand as close to your hip as you can, and then up and round. Okay, keeping that bar as close as possible so that you get nice long arms there. Okay, so we're going to go for 12 one way and 12 the other way. Trying to keep those arms as straight as you can. Try not to let those elbows bend. Go as slow as you can. Try and really focusing on getting those elbows to stay locked out the whole way through rather than letting that elbow bend to make it easier. Yeah. And as you ease off, I want you to try and reach those hands a little bit higher, try and get those biceps to brush the ear whilst keeping that arm completely straight. Nice work, guys. All right. What we're going to do now is we usually do pass-throughs. We know what they're like, okay? But what we're going to do is we're going to do pass-throughs lying on the ground. So we're going to go on to our, chest down. So we're going to go chest to the ground, okay? And then from there, we are going to reach up and back and over, okay? We are going to go for 15 of those, all right? I want you to try and keep your full grip on the bar the whole way through if you can, all right? Keep your forehead down towards the ground, and that's what we're going to get after just now. So 15 nice and slow, up and over and back. Trying to think about making the biggest circle you can with your shoulders. So the shoulders rise up towards the ears, and then they pull back and behind you. And if you can, keep that full grasp of the bar with both fists. All right, guys. So once you finished 15 of those, we're going to hop up. And we're going to take a nice wide sort of straddle stance. We're going to reach up tall with our right hand, and then so come back up to the center a second. Without letting our chest rotate, we're going to fold over to the side, and we're going to get a nice big stretch up the side of our body. Okay, so take a wide stance. So you've got a big, strong foundation, and then we're going to reach over as far as we can. We're going to count to 20 in that position, reaching as far as we can. Trying to think about reaching your fingertips up to the corner of the ceiling. Make a nice long position there. Trying to ease off the quadrilaterus, QL. Once you've hit count to 20, we're going to swap sides, and we're going to go for 20 on the other side. Just think a big long arc, reaching your fingertips up into where the ceiling meets the wall. Keeping your hips square on. Nice. Now we're going to go 20 seconds on the first side again. Big long arch from your tips of your toes all the way up to your fingertips. Make it as big and long as you can. Nice long straight arm. To be honest, this feels like one of the most rancid stretches for me, but it's an important one. All right, then 20 seconds on the other side. Yeah, we'll go through that in a second, yeah. Yeah. All right, guys, and then we're going to do something that is part stretch, part mobility kind of activation drill, which is going to be bridge position, okay? So we want to make sure that our upper back can extend fully to get into good positions for most of the overhead work or the front squat. So if you can get into a nice bridge like this, then awesome. But if you can't, don't worry, we're going to go through a couple of modified versions. So we're going to start off going for just a kneeling version. Okay, so kneeling and then just thinking of like hands behind you, driving the chest up. Okay. Yeah. All right, so just extending up there, starting off in that kneeling position and just trying to get your belly button right up to the sky. Okay, you're going to count to 20 there. Oh, okay. I've never tried that before. So yeah, belly button right up to the sky, count to 20 and then ease off. And you can also try it with your hands on the ground behind you rather than hands. And as you progress with this, like having a partner to work with you is quite useful because you can kind of hold onto their ankles and they can sort of lift you up and push you into this position. But putting your hands to like a stair or something like that that's not going to move or that's slightly higher. Oh, feet higher, sorry, yeah. So swap around to put your feet up on a stair or a box and then try and get into that bridge position. And it, like, I really struggle to get into that position. Ellie is amazing at getting into it compared, but it's a really good one for trying to work on strength in the upper back and those postural muscles that become super important trying to get into the overhead position. We are gonna finish up there for the evening, guys. So I'm gonna bring back our spotlight there. Oh, there we are, back there. That was awesome, guys. Some really good movement there and some really good improvement from everyone, which was nice to see. It's it always feels a bit doubtful that you're going to manage to be able to coach very easily over Zoom and all these kind of like hindrances, but actually like some really good improvements from everyone there. So that was really nice to see. I was a little bit nervous for taking up Ellie's mantle tonight, but we got through it.
Thanks, Rory.
That was absolutely excellent. Thank you.
No worries, guys. It was great to see you all. And have an awesome evening.
You too. Thanks, Ellie.
Cheers, then.
Catch you there, guys. Good to see you all. Bye-bye.
Yeah.